Hey, welcome to our podcast. And today we get to highlight the Buggy Bunch. So let's just go around the table, first of all, and introduce ourselves. My name is Zoro. I get to play the role of the host today, and I am a pastor at Pathway. And I love being the associate pastor of ministries here. So let's start way to my left.
I'm Jen Graves. I attend here at Pathway, have for many years, and I'm also the program director for the Buggy Bunch.
Nice. And to your right?
I'm Faith West, and I attend Pathway, and I do often go to the Buggy Bunch with my children.
And I am Brennan West. I am Faith's husband, and we've been coming to Pathway now for several years. It's been an incredible experience. We found Pathway through the Buggy Bunch, and I'm just super grateful for the network that we have here.
And to my right, who are you?
My name is Aspen, and I am a Pathway staff member, and I found the Buggy Bunch because of Pathway, and I'm a single mom.
So for the visitors or listeners or viewers out there, the Buggy Bunch, so when you think of the Buggy Bunch, when I first heard of the Buggy Bunch, I'm like, oh, is that a bunch of old ladies walking around the neighborhood pushing carriages? Like, what is the Buggy Bunch? I think of like old people. Is that not the Buggy Bunch? What is it?
Well, I can understand your confusion.
Thank you.
When I thought of the Buggy Bunch, first heard of it, I had just moved here from Northern Illinois, and I thought of a bunch of young moms pushing buggies. And that is how we started out. We started out as 4 moms walking with their babies on the bridge that just desired community together. And they ran into a bunch of girls at Riverside Park doing an exercise group, and they were charging like $20 a session or something. And these 4 moms were like, well, not everybody can afford to do that, but we want to do that too. And so they just started meeting in the park and having exercise groups. And they started meeting for Bible studies and play groups. And it just grew from there. And in 2011, we became a 501c3. So it's hard to describe the Buggy Bunch in just a few words. But really, one word that describes the Buggy Bunch to me is relationship. So we're just looking to meet moms right where they're at. And eventually, when it's time, when we've formed a relationship with them, to share the love of Christ, because that's our overarching goal for every relationship that we form.
Yeah, so I know as we talk about the Buggy Bunch, I mean, I couldn't be more excited about highlighting a certain ministry, a community partner than the Buggy Bunch because of the impact I've seen it firsthand have on this community. So can you tell us a little more, Jen, just like how it functions? Like, how are you guys surviving? Because I know you have high impact in our community, but that just doesn't happen. What's the structure like there?
Right. So we have, we offer several various programs and services for moms and families in our community. We're funded through private donors. We don't receive state money or grants for anything. So again, with the relationship, we have relationship with these people. They believe in our mission vision, and they help make all the programs and services happen. So what does the day at the Buggy Bunch look like for me? I might start the day out with a play group. So I'm playing with moms and kids like Faith and Brennan when they bring their kids in. I might be talking to a mom about the most exciting thing in her life or the scariest and hardest thing in her life. And because I'm there so often, I'm the one that gets to meet those moms, sometimes for the first time. Definitely boots on the ground, relationships, every single day. Eventually always end up giving out my cell phone number. And we just become friends. So I often joke that my role is making friends and holding babies. That's my favorite thing. But I do oversee all the programs and services that we offer. So we offer educational play groups. We offer Bible studies. We offer single moms groups. We offer bereavement support for moms that have lost children, babies, families, family members. We offer a diaper closet for moms that are at or below the poverty level. They can come in and meet with April, our parent coordinator, and receive free diapers, wipes, and formula, and whatever else we happen to have in stock. Sometimes it's laundry detergent. Sometimes we're pointing them just to another ministry or resource that they need, like the Pathway Food Pantry or Women's Refuge for Christian Counseling. It just really depends on the need. So our goal is to just meet them where they're at, whatever need it is, whether it be physical, spiritual, emotional. We're just trying to meet that need or find somebody that can meet that need.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So I see you tearing up. I think it's obvious to the audience that's watching at least and not just listening, what I know it's had high impact on you, Aspen. Tell us a little bit about that.
Bless Jen. Yeah, the word that comes to mind is just home. Super emotional, y'all.
That's okay.
One thing
real place.
she does life with us. Like, that's what Jen's job is. She's walking alongside of us. She's checking in. She knows the ones that isolate. She just knows us personally. And the Buggy Bunch is like, it took me a long time to go because I don't like to let people in. But once I was in, I was hooked. Yeah, and they just don't just meet you. They meet your kids and they pour into your kids. And yeah, it's just doing life together.
Yeah, and we'll get back a little bit later to your story because you're a single mom and we want to hear about that. But I've had the opportunity to recently tour the Buggy Bunch and I was blown away with just seeing the facility. It looks amazing. I mean, it's in a very different color building, but outside of that, the inside, I thought I was walking into a day spa at a high-end bougie salon, you know what I mean? But it wasn't. It was the Buggy Bunch. And Faith and Brandon, you all go there. Like, what do you do there? What do you guys do there as a young couple? Like, how's the Buggy Bunch impacted you, or what's the involvement there?
We came into Vero almost 3 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're moving around a lot, you use Google. So I got on Google and I thought, this is a tiny town. If it's good, it'll have good Google reviews because any good townsperson would leave a 5-star if it's really impactful or somewhere good or safe. So that's kind of how I gauge all my interactions anywhere we move, right? So maybe that's not a good way to do it, but that's where I start because I figure it's safe. I don't know where I am. I want to make sure this is a good place. So, oh goodness. I think I walked in probably 2-3 months. Like, I need to make some friends because, I'm social, I'm outgoing. Being a stay-at-home mom is actually kind of torturous for me. I love it, but frankly, it takes a toll on me. So, I think I met you pretty much right in the door, Jen. Actually, you were like, "Hey, welcome to the Buggy Bunch," and then she started asking me lots of great questions: where we were from, what we were gonna do here, if we had a church home, and we'd actually been church hopping, trying to find a church home for the past, month and a half. We were kind of, we tried a few and we were like, well, it doesn't really feel like somewhere we need to be. So Jen actually asked a great question. She's like, hey, do you have a church home? And I said, no, we're kind of, looking around town, but not finding anywhere that feels like it matches us, And so she's like, well, I don't always do this, but you seem like a really nice person and we, your kids are great. We'd love to have you at Pathway. So, would you consider coming in and trying out our church? And I said, hey, if I get a personal invite, why the heck not? That sounds great to me. And my children just love Jen. They go up to her, they say, hey, my daughter, ever since she started talking, she said, it's the Buggy Bunch, Mom. So, we're working on that. But it's a very, very special place for my kids. It's their safe haven. It's their fun place. Mom's having a bad day. They go play. I get a little break. I can talk with Jen or a different mom friend. And it really just helps reset the tone for my week. So
is the Buggy Bunch then not just for single moms or just moms? Because you're a dad and you kind of go to the Buggy Bunch. What is it like to be a dad as a part of the Buggy Bunch?
It's awesome because one of the things about the Buggy Bunch, yes, there is a lot of moms. There's a lot of single moms that go there, but there's a lot of us dads that we don't have a ton of community and we like to isolate ourselves because, hey, you work all the time. We don't get out and do things. And so we got to go to the Buggy Bunch. I got to meet Jen. I got to see where Faith was taking our kids, which I thought was important because they're spending a lot of time there.
Yeah, kind of.
So I got to see it. I met some other awesome dads who they're single dads. They're bringing their kids in just for a place for community. And so it was just an awesome experience walking in, being there. And then they have awesome things like the daddy-daughter dance, which is phenomenal. Thank you, Jen, for hosting that Buggy Bunch because I got to take my daughter to a daddy-daughter dance, got to meet some other awesome dads there, and it was a lot of fun.
Wow. So what I'm hearing so far is that the Buggy Bunch is a place where community just happens. Where as young parents, you're isolated. Like you said, you are a stay-at-home mom, but the isolation is real. So then you can feel like you're on an island by yourself without community. And you guys are kind of established, right? And you feel like you still have a desire for community and you can get it there. But then there's also the non-established, right? A single mom without the support of a spouse. How did the community come around you there at the Buggy Bunch? Without tears. Let's laugh a little bit. This is a great thing.
It is. And these are happy tears because I felt so alone. And it took a previous pastor to be like, you got to go. You got to go. And then they just it's like open arms, and it's other single moms. Like, it's different sitting in a room with somebody that's experiencing and walking through the same life season that you're in. And the kids, you don't realize how much the kids need that same, we're missing that male figure. And they just really, I'm just blown away with the friendships that they have.
So let me ask you about that. So your kids have a community there also? What does that look like?
There's nothing more than to see your kids thriving and happy and making friendships that we're doing life together. And it's not just at the Buggy Bunch. We become the Buggy Bunch in the community. We go for walks. We meet up. That's who we are. We go outside of the walls of the pink building because you didn't call it the pink building, but it's the pink.
Well, I mean, that's something that I think every one of us that are human, right, desires community, and you're finding it there.
No, I'm not finding it. I found it. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I had the blessing of touring the facility a few weeks ago, I saw this amazing playground. I'm like, seriously? Like, people pay a ton of money to send their kids to this type of playground. So tell us a little bit about that playground, because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. We love being able to offer that to the community for free, because all of our programming is free.
Free?
Yes, free.
Wow.
Well, once in a while. The daddy-daughter dance isn't free. All of our... It's supportable. All of our weekly programming is free. Our diaper closet is free. But our building used to be a furniture store years and years ago. And it's been 3 years now since we've been open in that building. And we had an amazing team design the play space just so it would be welcoming, calming, a place that kids want to go, because if the kids want to go back, then the parents want to go back. And what we found is the more we support and build bonds with moms, the stronger families are. Stronger families mean stronger community. So it's just kind of a holistic approach that can start with the playground.
So is that how, one of the questions I have is that how you choose the development of programs? Like, how do you guys decide what programs fit the community's needs?
While we are a team, I might be over programs, the program director, but I'm not the only one making the decisions. A big component of how we decide is pray. Every Monday we have staff meeting. We spend quite a bit of that time praying for our organization, for the community, for our moms, for church partners, ministry partners. It literally takes all day for our staff meeting, because so much of it is spent just in prayer. So we pray over what programs we think might meet the needs, what we think God is telling us to do. We look around and see what other programs are being offered. We don't really want to duplicate services. That's not going to help anybody. So we'll look and see, well, what's the library offering, or what's the ELC offering, or things like that, and go from there. And we try to listen to our moms, like, okay, Faith, what would be a good idea? What are you looking for? Or Astrid, what are you looking for? And then take all of that feedback and decide this is what we're going to do. And our program runs through semester type setting. So we're able to offer different programs kind of each semester, and just have a wide variety of what we can offer to families.
Yeah. Speaking of programming, Faith, what has been a program that you're like, oh my gosh, I always want to do this. This had high impact on my family. Which one of those happened at the Buggy Bunch?
Well, there's actually a couple that come to mind. I love the new integration of stay and play, because it's kind of like unscheduled playtime. I'm I have almost 3 kids, so planning I can try, but does it happen? No, not always. So it's really good to have a kind of set in stone day where there are 2 separate times. I can kind
What
of
is that like?
choose.
Like, can you just show up, or is there sign-ups? What is
Yeah, you just come in the door, you check in, you and your kids, and you say, I came in at this time and I'm leaving at this time, and you let your kids run rampant. It's great. They're tired by the end of it. Maybe they're kicking and screaming because they don't want to leave, but you know that you had a good little reset and you can pretty much ignore them in a safe way.
Yeah.
Because it's a great area, like the play space, it's penned in. There's only a couple corners. So if you're standing in the middle, you can see either vantage point. So for me, I just stand in the middle and I let them both go crazy. And it's a good time because the unstructured playtime is really what my kids love.
And it's indoors and air conditioned.
Yes.
I know that's a big, real thing here in Florida.
Yeah.
AC and indoors.
Yeah.
All right. And what's the other? You said there's another one that you loved.
My daughter is very artistic and she will sit down and do crafts. So I've gone to a couple of the crafting sessions and she just thinks that the best thing ever. They have different stations set up for your kids and you make one part of it at one station and then you carry it to the next table. Sometimes it's all on one table, but she thinks that that's the best thing ever. So she's like, look at what I made. And then, of course, Brennan gets to reap the benefit of seeing Mia with her just different things that she comes home with. So it's really good for me because I'd love to do that, but I'm not disciplined again in my own walls to want to do that or have the energy when, you're down to bare necessities of what am I going to do with my time. So
it kind of keeps you engaged and accountable, right?
Yeah.
To allow your child to do something really productive and active and fun without the pressure of having to cut everything out or go to a certain craft store and purchase something. That's awesome.
it's amazing.
Yeah. So let me ask you that question. What programs have really had high impact on you, Aspen?
So it's the Bible studies. Tuesdays are single moms, and Thursday night are all moms together, which is great because then we're integrated with all the moms. And that's been like life-giving because, they're dealing with stuff too. And then we get to give certain aspects because they might be upset with their husband. We'll be glad you got a husband. We just play into those kind of things together. But we're just real and honest. Thursday night's kind of crazy. We're all over the place on Thursday nights. So I guess that's why I like it. It's fun. It's just come as you are. And there's no real structure on Thursday nights. I know that they're supposed to be, but they kind of let us just do our thing.
And Brendan, as a husband, as a supporter, how have you seen these programs just kind of bring life to your wife and children?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a great question. The programs that we have at the Buggy Bunch, my wife wants to get the kids out to do a lot of stuff, but as you know, in Florida, most of the year, it's too hot, especially when she's pregnant, to go out in the sun for more than like 30 minutes at a time. And so the programs and just the network that's available at the Buggy Bunch has allowed her to plug in and allowed her to be part of something because, like she mentioned, we've been in Vero for about 3 years now, so we're getting established in the community. But when we got here, she didn't have anybody. And so it's given her a place to go connect, build those friendships, and really just thrive because she's a people person.
So let me throw this question back to you, Jen. So if I'm just a regular mom or dad in this community, how do I get connected with the Buggy Bunch? Is there do I go on the website or do I fill out a form or do I just show up? If I'm new here and I'm not tech savvy like Faith and the Google reviews, how do I even find out about the Buggy Bunch?
Well, you can always come to the big pink building downtown. The best way to get connected is through either social media on Facebook or Instagram, and then our website's thebuggybunch.com. And you fill out a little form for a new member. It's free. We don't bombard you with emails or anything like that. But then you can view our calendar and see all the things that are going on at the Buggy Bunch.
Maybe we're going to get teary-eyed because now I want to know your story. What's the biggest impact that the Buggy Bunch has had on your personal life, like your own self? Because I know you're part of the team, but I have a feeling, Jen, if they didn't pay you, if you weren't on staff, you'd still be involved because you're just so passionate about this place. What can you share a little bit? What's the impact on your own life?
Sure. I'll try not to get emotional. I came on staff a couple years after I actually got involved with the Buggy Bunch as a mentor and a Bible study leader, I probably led or co-led one of the most uncomfortable Bible studies we've ever done on intimacy. And it's a miracle that I came back. But so I started off as a volunteer, and I didn't think I was qualified.
So you weren't paid, and you're doing it. You're a staff member,
Yes.
more than a staff member. See?
Yes. And then I started homeschooling my kids. So I took a step back and just did a little bit when I could. And then I was actually on staff here at Pathway for probably almost a year. And then was asked to take the program director role at the Buggy Bunch, prayed about it, and really felt that God had been preparing me here to take that role over.
Wow.
I had very big shoes to fill, I felt at the time, because that program director had been there since the beginning of the Buggy Bunch. She kind of created the role. And she did a lot more than just programs and services. So I kind of went into it a little bit scared, but got my own groove. And about a year or so after taking that role over personally, my husband and I, we found out that Brent had a 16-year-old daughter. A daughter when he was 16 years old. She was 23 at the time. And that was personally hard on our family, hard on our marriage. But because I had been in the role that I was in, ministering to other moms, ministering to families, meeting people where they're at, I was able to see his daughter and meet her exactly where she was. After hearing a little bit about how she grew up and her own relationship with her mom, I wouldn't have been able to be so open and loving and inviting to her had I not been where I was at with the Buggy Bunch. So it has had a huge impact on me and my family. We all serve, pitch in. Like, you might see my husband driving the tractor for our pumpkin patch or fixing a pumpkin patch sign. He's around the family center, fixing stuff and just kind of plug in where needed. And my boys have done stuff, delivered hay for one of our events. My daughter works in childcare for the Buggy Bunch and ran our face painting in our fairy hair booth at the pumpkin patch. So it's kind of like a whole family, all hands on deck for us ministry. Most recently, it's kind of a running joke in my family that I don't bring home like
Puppies
or kittens. I bring home babies. So right now we currently have guardianship of a 2.5-year-old whose mom I met through our single moms group. And it's been an adjustment for sure for our family, but we know that it's exactly what God has for us and it's what's best for her right now. But again, without the Buggy Bunch, I wouldn't have that relationship. And I don't know where this little one would be without the opportunity she has with our family and her mom and her grandparents all working together to bring her the best life possible.
Wow. That's kind of tough to follow up.
I was going to say, just skip me.
But we're not. We're not, because I'm sure you have a high impact. It can be either you or a story you've heard through the Buggy Bunch.
Well, let's see. Yeah, how to follow that up. Personally, it's done a lot. Just kind of a place of belonging. Like that's faith for you. That's me. I really like a place to belong. It makes me feel like I can contribute if someone needs something. Because I've gotten meal trains before. I know how that feels, and I love to reciprocate that. So it's helpful having connection like Jen say, "Hey, what's going on with so and so? I haven't seen her lately," and I might be able to reach out and help with something. And yeah, just knowing that feeling of community, I think it just makes it a whole lot easier to give that back to someone because you know where that is. Lots of moving, lots of transitions, all things I'm grateful for, but it is hard to keep a consistent mindset around, where you're at, that you're here for a reason, and get over those tough moments until you do have the established community. So I would say the biggest impact it's made is just a place of belong, because when you have that, you're able to give that to other people so much better. And I would say the Buggy Bunch has been like a fundamental place where I've been able to go there, feel like I belong, and then I can go out and make friends, be there for other moms, even if it's outside the Buggy Bunch, because I've actually made a lot of friends in town through our mom's Facebook page, different areas, like even just meeting moms at the beach. but just having a core group of women serving, core group of moms that will say, hey, how are you? And check in on you is just, it makes it easier to go out and do the same for other moms.
All right, the only other dude on the panel, Brennan, what kind of impact you got to share?
Well, I have to say, without the Buggy Bunch, without Jen, we probably wouldn't have come to Pathway, because Faith and I drove past Pathway several times. And we're like, seems like a big church, not kind of our thing. And so we weren't even considering coming to Pathway because of the size of the facility. And so, funny story about how we got here. Jen said, hey, you guys should show up. And Faith and I were like, okay, we'll actually go to the 9 o'clock service. We plug in the GPS and we ended up at, I think, a Catholic church down in downtown. We walk in, we're just like, this is not the right place. The average age was like 70 years old. There was no child service. I'm like, we're at the wrong church. So we plugged it in. We got back here. And if it wasn't for that connection, I wouldn't have gotten the leadership, the spiritual mentorship from the pastors here, and just the people pouring into us and making Pathway feel like a home. Even though it is a larger church in the area, it still feels like a tight-knit home to be in, and I wouldn't have been saved again.
Wow, so it's had a huge spiritual impact on your life, the Buggy Bunch has, because it's led to other dominoes falling, and God just using that for growth, for discipleship.
Absolutely.
That is amazing. And before I go to you, like, I know I'm just a host here, but the Buggy Bunch has made a huge impact on me already, just being a pastor and seeing all these different ministries in the community that have just been good and great. But just to see the Buggy Bunch in action, to see the impact it's made on certain families, right? Aspen, you being one of them. But then also just to see, there's a girl that had a tragedy happen where she got really sick. The Buggy Bunch, I didn't see y'all as an organization. You weren't an organization anymore. The way I saw you, Jen, and I think April, walk alongside this family was deeper than clocking in and clocking out. You had a deep love that only Christ can give, but it was a call and a mission. I saw y'all as pastoral partners in life and in ministry in this community of Vero Beach. You weren't the Buggy Bunch. You're my sisters in Christ, serving the kingdom in a way only you all could. And that's going to leave a long-lasting impact on myself as a pastor, to see that, hey, there's people out there that love deeply. And that's something I saw you and April do. And that April is another staff member at the Buggy Bunch. But yeah, that's going to be forever, eternal. As long as I'm in ministry, I'm going to take that with me. But I know it's had a huge impact on you, Aspen.
Yeah.
I know you shared a little bit about that, but like, what's the depths of that?
So I kind of hid from divorce out of guilt, and then moving here, completely alone with my 2 kids at the time, and pregnant with my 3rd child. It was dark. That's what I remember the most, is just the darkness. But people were just pouring in. You got to go to the Buggy Bunch. Just go to the Buggy Bunch. But I didn't let people in. The walls were so high that you just couldn't get in. So I finally went to the Buggy Bunch, and it became safe space where I could be fully accepted and loved on. You said love deeply. Love was my word that I struggled with the most, because the people that said that they loved me hurt me the most. So to receive Jen and the girls, they just poured so much love into not just me, but my kids, and they accepted the single mom that I was, but it truly changed my life.
Sure.
It was no longer dark.
Sure.
And then it just became about like sharing my story, because I just wanted to save somebody else from being in that dark place. So that's where I'm at now. I'm not in darkness. I'm in the light. And now Jen and I'm just like, Jen, I'm on fire. I just want to walk alongside of these other moms and let them know that like the Lord has so much more for them. But the Lord brought them into my life at a season that I needed them the most. And they're still there, even though I'm not as needy as I was, like I still just need that community. I need love that I don't often receive very well. I love to love other people, but yeah, Jen and April have walked alongside of me from the beginning. And every time I come through the doors without a smile, they take me in the room. They know, they read our cues. They know us personally. And then just the kids. Yeah, I just feel like we have a family. And that was something that we were missing.
Wow. So this is the last question we'll ask today, kind of close it. And I'll start, right? So if somebody's out there listening or watching, why? Why should they partner up? Why should they get involved with the Buggy Bunch? And for me, it's because it's holistic. They truly meet you. The Buggy Bunch meets you wherever you're at. That's what I've already seen. Whether you're a single mom that just needs a diaper, or if you're an established, happy family that's in the trajectory of amazingness, they'll meet you there. Or if you want something that's deeper spiritually, they'll meet you there. And they do it with excellence. So it's not like I walked into your closet where you all have diapers and clothes, whatever it is. It was neat. It smelled good in there. Usually those things don't smell good. It really is first class. You all really do have a high standard of excellence, because these women, moms, come in and they're going to immediately feel that love, that, hey, they care deeply. This isn't just an afterthought. I'm not an afterthought. I'm not just if we have some extra funding, we'll pour into you. It's like, hey, no, you're our first. We're going to give you our best. And that's what I've already seen in the Buggy Bunch. And that's why I want to say, hey, partner up with the Buggy Bunch, because it is truly an organization that's first class, that loves deeply, and that cares for every single person that walks in the doors, no matter where they're at. Jen, why the Buggy Bunch?
Because you can make a difference. You can make a difference to a single mom, to a married family, to staff, to the donors. We make $1 go a long way at the Buggy Bunch, even though we look like a day spa. Whether it's, like you said, diapers, wipes, and formula, or scholarship Bible study books for moms that maybe don't have the extra $20 to buy a Bible study book. You're making an impact. Every single dollar, every single in-kind donation, every single volunteer is making an impact with us. And I feel like that's unique. We're not just about funds. It's about, praying for us. It's about time. It's about talents. So anybody can make a difference.
So anybody can partner up with you, no matter where they're at in life.
Yep. The young mom that wants to come hang out and participate in programming, great. The older, more seasoned mom that maybe doesn't need social interaction for her little ones, but maybe she's lonely, maybe she's new to town. Come volunteer and hang out at our Stay and Play, where the kids can run crazy and the moms can talk. Or come just be a part of Bible study, because we need those, older, more seasoned moms to come alongside, just like the Bible talks about, come alongside and help raise up the next generation. Like, everybody has a place with us.
Faith, why should people partner up with the Buggy Bunch?
Oh, man. Just, again, you'll hear me say community, place to belong. You're going to find somebody who will strike a chord with you. So regardless of what day it is or who's there, you'll find somebody with something in common with you. Honestly, I wasn't quite on the Brennan track, but it's incredible for the dads, because if you make a good mom friend, guess what? Your husband might have a dad friend too. So it's really impactful. You might need a church home. Maybe Jen will fill that hole for you. You never know. But if you have a need, again, whether it's the spiritual, emotional, or physical, like, where to go, and it's not judgmental and it's not scary to go there. So,
Brother, same question to you. So why partner up with the Buggy Bunch?
Well, number one is a big pink building downtown. Just gotta say, it's pretty cool. But number two, it's just a great place to go to just create that community that I know single moms need, the married moms need, moms in general, but then for the guys to, hey, if they are a single dad, their kids need to go be around places, and there might not be specific programming, but I guarantee Jen will know somebody to say, hey, you can go talk to this person and get them that mentorship that they need too.
Wow. Yeah. So I keep hearing the word community, community, community. And that's something that people long for. So if you're out there and you're saying, hey, why partner with the Buggy Bunch? Community is a big thing. So if you're out there looking for community as a person with young kids, it's here at the Buggy Bunch. Why should people listening or watching partner up with the Buggy Bunch?
I would just say, why not? What do you have to lose? Like if you're looking for a place, like Faith said, belong, a place that you need to feel safe, to bring your kids, to be yourself. So why not? What do you have to lose?
So let's close with this last question to Jen. I don't have a child, but I want to still partner up with the Buggy Bunch. I still want to somehow get involved. How could I get involved without being a part of the programming?
Well, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. You want to go to the store, pick up a pack of diapers and bring them by? Go ahead. Hey, we're looking for a handyman that can volunteer his time and, is just, maybe that's one of his talents and, can provide that kind of help. There's just a lot of ways. We're such a unique organization. It's really hard to just say, hey, go do this and this. So the best way, again, is just come on by, stop and talk to us. There's probably something for you there.
Well, hey, hopefully you enjoyed our episode of the Buggy Bunch today. So stay tuned and be ready for the next one.